Welcome everyone. So I will speak in English. Suppose that you want to ask a question or interrupt me because you didn't understand something. You can always do it in your own language. We do understand German, but I cannot speak it. So I will do the presentation in English. I hope that's okay for you. Okay. I will tell you something about our reporting solution, Doxxy. It's in fact a document generation tool that we developed in our company. Very quick, this is a slide of the company where I'm from. It's iAdvice. There's a colleague also over here. We have branches in Belgium and in the Netherlands, and we have the biggest team in APEX team in APEX in Belgium, and we also work in the Netherlands. And for more information, you can always go to our website. So why are we here? We want to show you a report solution, not just reporting to select information from the database, like the report regions in APEX, but to create printable layouts, documents, in fact. This is the program. I will first explain what it is and why we think that it's useful. A quick overview on the architecture, a sample, because it's only 5 minutes, I think, that I will explain the theoretical stuff. I will give you a lot of demos, so the demo part will be the biggest part in the presentation. I will end with a list of the most important features and then, yeah, the wrap-up, of course. So that's the program. First, what is Doxxy? I already explained. It's a document generation tool that we developed in PLSQL with an APEX interface on it. That's why we are here. And it works on the Oracle database. Why do we need it? We notice with a lot of customers that from the moment that they want to print something, so APEX is a red tool, but from the moment that they want to print something, then you have to look, you cannot do that in APEX, then you have to look for other solutions. And I come to that later, but we think that Doxxy is a nice solution for that. It's very easy. In fact, you have 3 steps. In the first one, you have to create your layout, or you have to design your layout in a Word document, a Microsoft Word document, which is very easy because everyone knows Word. And it can also be delivered, for example, by a business user, because a business user can also create some, can also have some designs. In the second step, you collect your data from the database. Therefore, you have to write some SQL statements to retrieve your data. So therefore, you need an APEX developer or another developer. And then we combine those two. So the templates and the SQL statements, we merge them, and Doxxy will give you the result in a docx file. So the result will be a docx document or PDF. Advantages. In fact, I already explained the most important advantages. So it's written in the Oracle database. It's a pure PLSQL solution, which makes it very easy to install. You just get an SQL file that you have to install. In the SQL file is a packaged APEX application, which contains the user interface and the necessary database objects. Another advantage is the separation between the templates and the data. So layout and data is separated. And also one that I already told you is the possibility to create your designs in Microsoft Word. So you can use all the options from Microsoft Word, which can be done very quick and simple. Why do we think that why did we develop Doxxy? We noticed, so we have a lot of APEX customers, of course, and every time it's a red tool, rapid application development tool, and you don't have to pay extra, it's no extra cost from the database. You get it with the data, together with the database. And from the moment that you want to print, then Oracle offers other solutions, but for example BI Publisher, which is a very good tool, but that's an enterprise solution, so also an enterprise license cost for your to print something from the database. So we were looking for a solution which is easy to install and at an affordable price. And that's why we developed by our own in PLSQL. The architecture. This is an overview of the architecture, which is also easy. You see the input part. So the template, you need the templates for your layout, and you have to retrieve some data. You have to write some queries to retrieve your data from the database. And that's what you need for input. The processing part, in fact, it's also the same philosophy as APEX. So in APEX also runs in the database, a separate scheme in the database. Doxxy also has a separate database scheme. APEX also works with metadata tables to store everything in it. So also the templates are stored in the database. Your queries will be stored in the database. There is an UI, a user interface, written in APEX where you can upload your templates and where you can write your queries. When your document is generated, you will get it in a blob. So the output file will be a blob file which contains your docx document or PDF. That's the same story, but then in words. Another overview, I don't know if you know that, but a docx is just a zipped file with a lot of XML files in it. So how does Doxxy works? He will unzip the docx file, so that we have multiple XML files. If you unzip it, you will have a structure like this. One of the XML files is, for example, the document.xml, and there you will recognize your own template in it, but in XML, of course. What we will do is we work with tags. So on places where you have to merge with data from the database, you have to write some tags in the templates. Doxxy will replace these tags by the correct data from the database. When it's finished, he will zip everything again and he will return the result in a blob file. So this is, for example, the document.xml file in which there are some tags, a first name tag and a last name tag. I explain that he has to replace it by the correct first name and last name. For example, this one. He will zip it again and return it to you. So the tags are replaced and you have a correct document. A sample, I don't know if you can see it from behind, because we need this in the demos too. It's just a sample report that we made in our company and we use it for our demos. Behind you see a letter, because Doxxy, you can typically use it for operational documents like letters, like invoices. And as an example, we made a letter with, for an order confirmation, for example, with customer information. Dear customer, you ordered this and this product and the total price. So you need a letter template, you need a Word template, and we will write some text in it which will be replaced by the correct customer information. As a second page, an attachment in fact, we will show the products that the customer has ordered, and we show the image from the products, from the items. So that's because we want to show that images from the database can also be showed in the report. And we also used some conditional display. It's just an example to show you the most important features of our tool. So conditional display, different layout possibilities, master detail queries, because you have an order, in this order you have multiple items. So we need some master detail queries and we have to link these queries. I will create this report together with you now in the demos. So first I will create a letter, then I will create the appendix with the table, and you will see that it's really easy to create your document. This is the environment, so the first thing I have to do is log on. There is a folders region. All the reports or all the documents can be placed in different folders. We can put some security on this folder so that not all the users can see all the documents or all the folders. I will create a new folder for my report. Did I click on? Okay. Oops. Let's call it Van Heke. That's my login name. Here we have a new folder Van Heke. I will create a new document. A document is a selection of all the metadata. So in my document I will have to write my select statements and I have to upload my templates and parameters or other stuff. So, or let's give it a name, confirmation letter. If you open the document, so this is confirmation, my document, here you can maintain your metadata. First thing I have to do or I want to do is creating my template. I already did some work before I was here, so this will be my template. You recognize kind of a letter, you can put a logo in it. On the place where you have to replace some tags with data, here we write the tags, of course. You see some text, just paragraphs, some written text, in which sometimes you can connect it with some data from the database. So this is just paragraph text. Here is a special one. This is a bullet list. I only have to put it once. He will automatically repeat it for every record that he will see or select in the select statement. It's because thanks of the begin tag. So we have some special tags. Begin means that he has to repeat it for every record in your SQL statement. Do you understand this? I don't think it's difficult. So that's something you have to prepare. That's the template. Now we need some queries. In this letter I used 3 SQL statements. One to retrieve my customer information, one for my order. I will print one letter for each order. The customer information, I could have done that in the same SQL statement, but I do it separately just to show the link between 2 queries. So for each order I have an order statement. For my customer I will write a separate SQL statement. And a third SQL statement will be for my items list. Each order has this different order items. I also prepare these SQL statements, so I have to copy and paste. I go to my SQL statements, click on plus. My first SQL statement is orders. You can write your SQL statement over there. Okay, I also used a parameter so that I can choose one specific order. I can create my parameter here, order ID, P order ID, which will be a number, default value, for example, 1. Okay, create. So now it's created. You can access your parameters by the column sign. When you're ready, you can test your select statement with the parse SQL button. So it's successfully parsed. And here you have to explain how information from the SQL statement will be used? Will it be just in a paragraph in written text? Will it be in a Microsoft Word table? Or will it be in a bullet list? So that's something you can choose here. We have different possibilities, but I cannot go into detail for everything. I will use some of them later in the demo. So the order is just written text, so just paragraph. That's for my letter. Then I need some customer information. It will be my second SQL statement, so I create a new one. It will be customers. Paste my statement in it. Another important field is the parent SQL statement. So I told you that we can link queries with each other. So I just have to say that my parent SQL statement is orders. For each order, I will select my customer. From the moment that you select orders, you can access all the columns from your parent SQL statement to use as a link. Also, I used it here with the column sign. So thanks to the column in the order statement, I can now link the two queries. Okay. Okay, customer will also be used in paragraph text. Create. And then my last statement is for the order items. I will show them in a bullet list. That's this one. Order items. My parent statement will be orders again. For each order I will select, okay, I don't need this one. I will select my order items. This time I want to show it in a list, in a bullet list. That's why I have to choose list now. And okay, the name has to be exactly the same, so items list. I'll change it into items list. Create or parse. Yeah, that's correct. I forgot to upload my template. Two steps. First the template, or you can switch it of course, but you have the steps of the template and you have the select statements. Here you can upload your templates. So also here, I create a new template. So it's this one, this Word document that I will upload. Or confirmation template. Well, now we're ready. I can ask to show a preview. I can ask to generate my report here. For example, for order ID 1, I might download my Doxxy document, and here it is. So it's exactly the same document. All my tags are now replaced by information from my SQL statements. I'm going to do some changements, or I don't know if you noticed it, but I can also ask to print all the orders. So concatenated at each other. I do this. Merge. One document with all the orders next to each other, after each other. Therefore I have to leave it empty. Then I have my first letter. That's something I have to explain. But you see the second letter and the third one. I asked him to repeat, so for each record you have to repeat everything. But in fact I have to do something extra. I have to tell him that when you have a new record, you have to put a page break. So that's an easy option. For each record in my order statement, it's not just paragraph, you have to put a page break.
Could you have single documents as well?
Yeah, but then you have to call the Doxxy engine multiple times. So that in fact you have to do that in your own PLSQL code then. It's not just included in Doxxy. Yeah. Preview, yeah, there are multiple places where you can ask for a preview. So all orders again. Now I have my first one, and now it starts a new page for each order. I also told you that we not only have docx as output, but you can also choose PDF. So here you have to choose the output format. You can choose between docx or PDF. The template is always in docx. So input is docx, output is docx or PDF.
What about the PDF engine?
Sorry?
What about the PDF engine? Which technique do you use?
Therefore, we liked to use only PLSQL, but that's not possible. So therefore, we use some Java libraries. Yeah. So if you need PDF, therefore you have to install something extra. You have to install the Java libraries too. Yeah. Voilà. A second example was the second part of the confirmation letter. It was not the letter, but the second page, which gives you an overview, a table overview of the ordered items. This is template 2. So let's open it. So the letter is exactly the same, but on the second page we have a word table. You only have to write, you only have to design one record. You only have to put one record with the special tags again, begin and end, which means that he has to repeat each record for every, he has to repeat each row for every record he will have in the SQL statement. And these are just column names, so it works exactly the same. I think for people who knows BI Publisher, for example, it's yeah, it looks. So let's and the data, I already have the data because I already selected the items. So they are already in my SQL statement. I have an SQL statement. This is my SQL statement with information. In my letter I showed it as a bullet list on the first page. In the second page I show it in a table, in a word table. I have to explain that, so you can use it multiple times in your report. Only one select statement, but you can use it multiple times. Once as a list, and I also explain that I use it a second time in a table. Items, I don't know it by heart. Items table. Well, that's all I have to do. I will upload my second template, so that's also an advantage. You can upload multiple templates. Sometimes it will be useful if, for example, you have a report in German and you have a report in English. You just have to upload 2 different templates. Template is conf temp 2, and I upload template 2. Let's ask preview again. Where it is? It's my eye icon here. I just have to explain that I need my template 2 now, with docx for example, and download it. This is my letter, that's exactly the same, and on my second page I have my table. For the image we have a special tag. It's EMG tag. I didn't show it, but is it still open? Here. See? Then he knows that it will be a blob and he will replace it by the image, the content of the blob. Okay, one last example to show you the conditional display. Okay. Therefore, I have a third template in which I just added this code. I have so we have some special tags. This time we have an if tag. If, and then it's something you have to select in your select statement. So this is also an attribute in your select statement which returns 1 or 0. If the product avail column is 1, then I will show my availability in black because the layout is black here. Else you will show it in red. And then you close your end. So in this way you can do some conditional formatting. I will upload this template and we'll run it. Conf temp 3 template 3.x. Okay. So exactly the same letter, but now. Okay, it's good that you saw it. Yeah, it always remembers my last choice, so I have to change it into 3. And now it is red. Yeah. Voila. I think that's are the most important things that I wanted to show you. Let's go back to the presentation. Let's just not wrap up. I added some print screens of the application in the slides. If you have the slides then and you don't have the demos live, then you know how it looks like. So some print screens also from the template, how we work with the template and the tags. Yeah. With the if and the end tag, begin and if. But you saw it live. Huh? Some examples from customers who already use Doxxy. So, some examples. This is an example of a big report with multiple pages, with more than 50 pages, with a lot of queries also. So that's also possible. To summarize, a list of the most important features, but I think you already know them. So the UI, the SQL statements that you have to write. You only have to write one query, but you can use multiple times in your report. The nested master detail structures, which are easy, and yeah, the images, conditional display, we already showed them. Something I didn't show is the possibility to execute some PLSQL blocks in the beginning or at the end of the report. For example, to put a flag that the report is printed and to put that in the, to change that in the database. Yeah, we did some extra stuff for debugging, so that suppose that there is an error, to find the error easy. And the PDF option with it, which is new from the beginning of this year. So I think we may conclude that APEX is a red tool, that we try to develop also a red tool for reporting or printable documents. So we think that Doxxy is a red tool for generating reports. And in fact, Doxxy proceeds where the APEX philosophy stops. We have product at an affordable price, and yeah, it's easy and quick to make your documents. Just give it a try.
One question, the price range or something approximately, and what range is it?
It's €1,500 for a license, and it's based on the database instance. So for each database instance, $1,500. Yeah. For special options, but we only have one option, that's PDF. It's €500.
You also make a distinction between that you have production environments and non-production environments for your development or test. You have a price.
Okay.
Yeah. You can always run it for free, but then you have a watermark on it, and PDF extra options will not work in the free version.
Okay.
No. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Great presentation.